Dirt roads to rock crawling, two-buck chuck to screaming eagle, moonshine to 50-year-old single malt. We talk about it all here on Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey with your hosts, Jason and Chris.
Welcome to Wheeling Wine and Whiskey, episode 156, on remote at Prairie City, Ultra4 race, MAO. We are here in Folsom, California.
Prairie City, baby.
Yeah, pretty cool place, huh?
Yeah, first time here.
I was here last week in rec wheeling. It was pretty fun. I got to run the track. I was going like 30, 35, I think.
Hashtag Jason
it was
money.
good. It was good. With my new stickies.
Right. Nice.
Hey, so this is exciting. We're getting to catch up with a couple Ultra4 favorites coming up here in the Ultra4 world.
Yes, sir.
We got Madie Moon
and
Woody Rose sitting here with us. Welcome, guys,
Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having us. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so I saw you guys at the NorCal race a month ago or so that Goodby put on, and that was a fun race. You guys did pretty well there.
Yeah, so that was my actual first short course style race in the car that I'm driving, which is Dave Schneider's Purple Nexon car. Woody and I both got to stand on the box next to each other, which was pretty cool.
Yes, we did. That was actually my second season starting.
Right.
So yeah, I was stoked I could put it on the box. First win, I believe.
Absolutely.
So yeah, stoked about that.
Congratulations, man. Yeah, it was super cool. I talked to Madie briefly last time we were here at NorCal, and Amber, obviously. So Amber, we're big fans of Amber, and so
we love her.
Yeah,
we love her.
And so I go, hey, we got to get their story on here. We got to get Madie and Woody's story there. So great. So thanks for taking the time. I know you're in between. You're getting ready right before the main race here. We're a couple hours before the main.
Yeah.
I actually am going to be doing the LCQ. I had a little bit of unfortunate events.
I wasn't going to bring that up, but okay. Now that you brought it up, let's go.
No, it's okay. It's racing. I got two tires, broke a wheel in half, and it's a little destructive on our prelim. So we're going to send it out to the LCQ, maybe try and reel it in a little bit and see if we can get high enough spot to make it into the main.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we saw that tire, and it was there was no tire plugs that would fix that one.
I was trying to
the belts came out of it. How do you get the belts out of a tire?
I thought those were zip ties.
Yeah, no. Well, we did a whole lap on that. I was like, the steering's messed up, and it kind of feels like it's down on that side. And then I realized I thought I just blew one front tire, and then I pulled into the pits. And yeah, it was two tires, same side.
Yeah, passenger side.
I did pass people when I did it.
That's awesome. Heck yeah, it does.
You're still racing.
Yes, I am.
So let's get into your background, Madie. So you do like rock bouncer stuff. That's how you got into racing, or your start, I should say, or where did it all begin?
Yeah, so my dad actually showed up to a race and surprised me. I was supposed to be driving a ExoCab Toyota with a 3.4 in it, 5-speed. Me and my mom were just going to go out and have some fun, and he showed up with a 500 horsepower rock bouncer on the trailer and told me I was driving it. So I podiumed actually my first race, which was super awesome, and that bouncer's name is now Matitude, which we won't get into that, but I got that nickname when I was 3 years old. And I
read between the lines.
Yeah, exactly. So this is my third year starting racing that. Third season, I should say. This year's the third season I'm racing Matitude, and we've been doing pretty well with it. We made a lot. It's evolved a lot from the East Coast style bouncing. I did take it back to Mid America Visions. I got an invitation this last year.
Nice.
It's amazing. Those hills are insane. So that's not actually what we do up north.
Right.
It's more of an endurance style, a little more technical and slower pace than I would say short course, but bigger rock piles. And, the guys that I run with up there on 54-inch tires mostly, and I'm a baby buggy.
And so you're out of the Pacific Northwest there, so...
Yep, so I bounce in between Washington and Oregon and Reno now, so I just kind of live a gypsy life at the moment and the life on the road to race.
Hey,
you do what you got to do.
Living the dream.
Somebody told me you couldn't make a career out of racing, and that kind of fueled my fire to prove them wrong.
Good for you. Right on. I love it. And then how did this Ultra4 thing come about?
So Dave and I have been kind of just conversing back and forth. I actually know his brother who lives up in northern Idaho, Ryan. And we just had talked back and forth. I actually messaged him because they were still at the shop for hammers. And I was like, you guys should be on the road. Do you want some help? And he was like, actually, yes. And I was like, all right, I'll be there in 5 hours. So
nice.
I drove down. I went down with these guys. I actually was able to be Woody's pit chief for hammers in the car that I'm now driving. and help them get through Hammers Week. And then he was like, "We're going to put you in a car." So, yeah,
Man.
it gives me goosebumps talking about it because the opportunity doesn't come to a lot of people. So I'm really grateful for
No,
that.
that's super cool. Obviously, he recognized, saw that you could drive, so it's like, let's see what you could do. And Dave's always good about doing that. It's like, if he can enable you, he'll help you out there.
Yeah.
So,
And I've been going down to Trent Fab, Derek, and everybody, all the guys down there. I've been working with them, hand in hand. I have to prep my own car to race it, and so I've been learning a lot down there, and it's a good time.
I mean, yeah, and how great is it? I mean, Trent Fab cars are just super cool.
I know.
The chassis are just, they're just eye candy on high, and to be able to race one of those cars, that's cool.
I actually got the opportunity to practice. Woody broke my car when we came down here to practice before the first short course race, and so I got the opportunity.
On you.
Yeah,
I kind of did do that.
I actually got to drive his car in turn though, which is that's the one that Cameron Steele raced the Legends class at Hammers this year.
Yeah.
So I think that's like one of the most brand new turnkey ones coming out of the shop. And let me tell you, just even the progression of like how much better and, faster and the like little changes that they've made to that car. And it's
interesting. So you get to see the different,
100%.
driven the different chassis, and you can tell the difference.
Oh, yeah, for sure. His pole's pretty hard. He's got more horsepower than I do also. And
Yes, quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. But no, they're good cars.
Yeah, that's killer. All right, so Woody, you've been patiently sitting over here, quiet, but let's get your story, your background. You were co-dog starting out in this racing career here.
Yes, I was co-driving for a Canadian named Dustin Friesen. We got along amazing in the car. I started on a desert race for my first time, and then short course was one of my favorites, so I'm stoked to be racing short course this season.
Okay.
And later in the year, I got to race Nationals 2019 with Dave Cole. That was a ride.
So how's this relationship with Dave Cole? How'd you get to know Dave?
I knew Dave Cole through Dave Schneider.
Okay.
And Bailey Cole.
Okay.
So we helped him with his program before.
Yeah.
And I just grew up watching him over the years, learning everything I could.
That's cool. Okay. Right on. And then, so you were co-dog, and you did pretty well as co-dog.
Yeah,
sitting in the wrong seat, as Slauson says. But
Right.
I have mad respect for co-drivers because there is a lot going on, and you are not in control of the car, which I do not like.
Yeah, I guess Dave Schneider's idea on a co-driver is that they make better drivers.
Yep. Well, and there's probably something to that.
Yes,
Absolutely.
they learn a lot more. They could see what the other driver's doing, and I got a lot of different drivers to experience that with. So
That's
I
a
think
great
that's
point.
a big thing.
Well, I
Yeah.
think you got to think about it. I mean, the driver's just driving, right? And the co-dog's either got to jump in and out of the car, got to pull cables, got to read the map, got to give instructions, maybe even have to hydrate your driver and feed them snacks or whatever it is going on. Remind them to calm down or
there is that a lot in the car.
or whatever.
I love the in-car chatter. That needs to be mic'd up. They need to start playing that
That's
on the.
terrifying.
You just got to keep them calm and tell them
Right.
jokes and
Yeah.
keep them happy.
Yeah,
Keep 'em in a good
especially
mood.
on the King of the Hammers, these long races,
Right.
200, the Fallon 250 stuff like that. I mean, that's endurance.
Yeah, rule number 1, do not stress out your driver.
Right.
Because then it'll
Right.
just go bad.
Keep it light. Yeah. That
Just tell them
makes
a joke.
sense.
If you think they're stressed, be like, hey, man, how's it going?
So, do you know Chris Ray? He's been on the podcast before, and he's like the ultimate right seat, I guess.
Yes,
He's
I
got a
do
lot
know
of good
Chris Ray.
tips.
He actually helped me out a few times with bringing tires to me
Okay.
that we couldn't get to. So he
Okay.
brought him. He met us at Glen Helen one time for one of my little brother's races. So yeah, I was super thankful for him.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, but it was interesting because he was like telling me putting the snacks on the roof and all these cool little tips and things that I didn't realize and then now I start looking in cars on the long range.
Yeah, he
What do you
is
got
good
for
at what he
snacks?
does.
Yeah, what's going on in here?
Everything needs to be within reach, and it needs to
Yeah.
be something you can grab without having to take
Yeah.
your eyes off the track.
Yeah, on a
right?
nice little straightaway, just feed him a sandwich,
Yeah.
feed him a snack.
Right.
So then moving to the driver's seat.
Yes.
So how did that progression happen?
About a year and a half ago, we were all standing by the chassis table, and Dave was talking with my mother, Lisa Trent, and he kind of just brought it up, and he's like, hey, I think we should throw him in the driver's seat. He gets one shot, one opportunity, and we'll see how he does. And I went out there. First race, I took first, and he was kind of shocked. He's like, oh, no, what did I do? And then after that, we had some coil pack issues, so I ended up second for that race. And it was a good time, and I got to race the season.
That's awesome.
and ended up second in season points for NorCal.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Mhm.
It's
Freaking awesome.
strong. Came
Absolutely awesome.
on the scene strong and finished strong.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the car that
Yeah.
you raced. That is the car that I am now
That's
driving.
your car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm very faithful in that car. I know what it is capable of, and I know
Sure.
it can hang with just about all the cars out here. It can keep up with my car, no problem. I know it.
That's,
I'm still learning.
Bro, and it's seat time, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's just
Mm-hmm.
getting that, and to Woody's point, he's had that right seat experience. You had the rock bouncer experience,
Yep.
so I mean,
She's way
there's got to
better
be
in
some
rocks.
parallels there. I
Oh,
gotta
absolutely,
imagine. And,
yeah. Piloting just a car of the nature.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an 800 horsepower bouncer.
Yeah.
I'm on 46s, which is exponentially bigger than what we run, the 37
Right.
Nexans.
Right.
Mhm.
But it's a learning curve. It's a lot different, but there is some similarities, and I
Okay.
could take away from.
So,
Well,
do you
I
have one favorite over the other, or am I putting you on the spot to pick one over
I
the
would
others?
say that Matitude just holds a very sentimental
Sure.
piece of my heart because that was the very first rig that I ever had driven. It kind of opened the door to it. It was my drug of choice, if that makes sense, and I'm now addicted to it. So
And
I would say definitely,
And
I'm
the
partial.
800 horsepower probably doesn't hurt.
No, not at all. I do love that, and it has no exhaust on it. It drops straight out the passenger side. And my favorite part is
Yes.
that when somebody's on the radio yelling at me and I'm in it, I can't hear
Can't
a
hear
word.
anything.
It's-
We call that uncorked.
Yeah, uncorked, fully uncorked. For
I
sure.
like the loud, obnoxious. I like people to hear me when I'm coming.
So let's talk about the rock bouncing thing. So I mean, I've watched it, on YouTube and a little bit on TV, and I'm like, this to me. I mean, I'm a rock crawler, slow and steady, but that just seems kind of like make sure you're pointing generally in the right direction, and then just mash it and send it. Or is there some strategy going on?
It kind of depends. Like if we're hitting those hills at Mid America, it's half luck, half skill. I would say. Those were some gnarly hills. There were still dynamite strings hanging out of them,
Oh,
and
shit.
I stood at the bottom of them, and you're looking like 80 feet up a cliff, and I was like, "There's no way anybody's going to make it up this." And then I made all 3 hills.
Wow.
I was impressed. Honestly, I was like shocked myself a little bit. I would say there's definitely some strategy. You have to have good throttle control. You can't just hold it wide open. And there's, you have to be a driver in order to
Sure.
do well. And,
it's reading the car, right? I mean, it's that feedback that you're getting, and you're really good driver operators, whatever it is. You're listening, you're feeling. It becomes part of you, and it's like, okay, yeah, I can push it, or I got to back off, or
Yep.
something squirrely here, or
usually
whatever.
it's like when you're looking at just blue sky up in the air.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, maybe I should let out of it a little bit more.
Never lift, Maddie.
Well, that one, I like to go up the hill, not cartwheel it backwards down it.
No kidding.
Just gonna
Yeah.
send it. We don't have our fancy board. I'd have a button to press.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
cheering
right.
crowd or something like
Yeah.
that.
I've heard that.
So Woody, how old is this car that you're racing right now? It's
The one currently it was finished right before Hammers of this year.
So yeah,
it is
it's
a fresh car.
pretty fresh off the press there.
It was one of the last hand-built cars by Derek Trent.
Really?
Yes, we're converting to the laser chassis now.
Okay.
It's a lot easier to
Sure.
build them and
Produce,
more
yeah.
productive, I guess
Yeah.
you'd say.
Makes sense.
Well, tell us a little bit more about
Yeah,
the car.
let's hear about the car and these chassis. These
Well,
fab
my
chassis.
car is the new evolution, I'd say. It's a snub nose chassis. So we
Okay.
shortened it for visibility,
All right.
and we put hard seats in it for the first time in any of our cars. A few of them have it now, and I do love the hard seats. They're very nice.
Interesting.
And it's 37-inch tires. I have an LSX 457 in it.
Okay.
So very peppy. It is a very nice car. And yeah, we changed the back half on the cars recently. Did it to Jeremy Jones first.
Okay, that's right.
And it just lowered the center of gravity with the car because it moved the tire down like a foot or so.
Wow.
Like quite a bit.
Wow.
And it improved handling by a lot with the cars. So yeah, mid-season for my season in Maddie's car, we cut my back end off and put the tire a foot lower pretty much.
Okay.
And improved handling by a lot.
Interesting.
So, for both short track and long track, you feel comfortable, or long races,
Yeah,
short
super
races?
comfortable.
It's-
I actually built the interior in my new car. So yeah. I made all the leg room possible. The passenger seat has a lot of leg room. I had to do some modifications for that. So
Wow.
I could have tall people in the passenger seat, which is nice.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of tall people. I mean, I noticed Madie is like extremely tall.
Yeah, I'm a giant. I'm 6 feet tall. A lot of people are like, they meet me and they're like, you do not look this tall on social media.
Right.
Like, it's the big tires.
It's the big tires.
Yeah, absolutely. I do have to also say another thing. Woody has, a couple updated features in his car, and one of them being those Brannick trailing arms. The all
Yes,
aluminum.
those Brannick
Oh my
trailing
gosh.
arms. I
The sun
love
hits them
those.
just right, and they're like
They are
sparkling in my
beautiful.
eyes. I love them. Yeah.
Shine them up before every single race.
Yeah.
Better than diamonds, huh?
They hold up
Oh my
right through the
gosh.
rocks.
I would honestly take those in place of some diamond earrings.
That's great. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah. And then, we have Raceline wheels on there.
Yeah.
Raceline wheels, Nexon
yeah.
tires, amazing.
So how did the Nexon tire thing come about?
Derek Trent actually met those guys 2 years ago at Hammers, and he got them to give some tires to him for the Jeep.
Okay.
And then I started racing, and he hit him up, and he was like, "Hey, so my boy's racing. Would you guys like to sponsor him for some tires?" And they said, "Yeah." So they just give me tires for the races, and
now we
I
have
love 'em.
matchy cars.
I know. I like
matching cars.
how the car. Yeah. The livery.
The liveries.
Right? Livery is very cool, and the purple and the blue there. Nexon. We talk about our ex-racer Kevin Jones, 4800 car driver, and he did the Nexon thing, and it worked out really well. So
Yep.
so that's good.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, tires seems to be, especially short course tires, seem to be eating
just-
up a lot. I mean,
yeah.
whether it's, remember,
Here, especially.
Yeah, remember Wild West Motorsport Park?
Yeah.
I mean,
that was
ate
my
tires.
favorite track.
Yeah, everybody
we almost
says that.
last year we almost raced for the first NorCal there, and I was
Yeah.
so stoked. I was kind of worried because that uphill rock section
Right.
gives me the creeps.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I was willing to go up it.
Yeah.
And that was the track I raced most on, and that was my favorite track for the co-driver seat.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was a great place for spectators,
spectators.
too.
Yes. everything.
Nationals brought so many spectators to that place. It was our favorite, and our shop was about 15 minutes from the track, so that was one plus.
you're right there.
Yes.
Exactly. It was
Easy to run back for parts.
Yeah, that's
There
what they
is
said.
that. We've
You could
done
even
that
take a whole
multiple
car
times.
back
Yeah.
Yes.
if you needed to.
That's true.
That's right.
Yeah, it's sad it's so sad that's gone. I hope something else comes up in that area or something. I don't know, but
And why are you
we
saying
need a
that?
track. Prairie City's great. I mean, it's
Prairie
still
City's
It's an
really-
amazing track.
It's really good, and man, we've got a great turnout this weekend. It's great to see.
Deadbeat does an amazing job
Yes.
too of running everything. Everything's been very smooth. Even at the NorCal race, I was very impressed with the flow of everything. So
And
big
there-
shout out to him and his wife Andrea.
Absolutely, man. There was a lot of heats and the main races and everything, and it finished like right at 7, right on
Yep.
time. And I'm like, how did he just do that?
And that's like unheard of in the
Yeah.
racing industry, really.
The recoveries were super quick.
yeah.
The crane of shame, the great all out there, and stuff. But
Hey, Woody, I heard that you had to get towed back by that.
what?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
So my harmonic balancer.
Oh.
I don't know how this happened or what, but it separated from the crank, and
It's
yeah,
racing. It's the little nitty gritty stuff.
Yeah, the little things. I lost power steering around lap 2, and I was like, okay, this will be fun. Almost looped it a few times, but saved it. Went off the jumps a little crooked.
Uh-huh.
It was a little worrying for me because I was looking at my rearview mirrors, and I was like, they're right on my tail. They are coming up quick.
He was leading. He started up
Yes,
front.
I started up
Yeah.
front and maintained the front position. Almost got passed around the first lap right before the finish line, but managed to pass him back.
He's a good
So, yeah.
driver. Heck of a kid.
Heck yeah.
For sure.
It's all about holding the lines around the corners.
Yeah.
That's something I love, and a lot of people know how to do it. So, yeah, that is my favorite
still
part about
trying-
racing. If you
Really?
can hold your line around a
Yeah.
corner.
Yeah, that's my biggest. I think that's the rocks. Like, I love the rocks. But the corners are definitely, I'm trying to learn from Woody
Yeah.
a little bit to push it a little bit.
Yeah,
It's hard.
Well, if you look at Justin Hall, I mean, he went and did some bunch of drifting practicing and stuff on asphalt
Yeah,
to
he
learn how to
did.
kind of handle a car through these high speed turns.
Yeah.
You know, and that's maybe, I don't know. I mean,
That would
that's
be
a
very
combination
good.
of road race, street racing, and
Yes.
road track or whatever they call that. Grand Prix
what
style
is it?
racing.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well,
Getting
and coming
into that.
from 46-inch tires, you could,
Yeah.
if I tried to, spin it out around that corner, I'd be on my lid
Sure.
faster than I could blink.
Right.
I actually, when I just came off the podium 2 weekends ago up north, and I almost rolled in just the flattest, dumbest spot just because I was cooking. I think I beat everybody on the track by 40 seconds.
Wow.
On just like a little short course. And I come around this corner and just, I was still in Ultra4 mode. and it kicked up on 2 tires, and I set it back down and maintained the hill climb. But, just going back and forth in between those, like today, I hit the rocks way too hard on 37s.
Yeah.
And I should have backed it down a little bit, but I'm deciphering between the two. I kind of got to get out of the rock bouncing state of mind and into the Ultra4.
Sure.
So
there's pluses and minuses there. If you were just one car, okay, that's all you're programmed for, but you're having to adapt.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I think it'll make me a better driver, though.
Absolutely,
overall.
because that's going to take. Yeah, you're taking the good points from. Yeah.
Can I buy
Rock
that
bouncer
somewhere?
to
Does Summit
Ultra4.
Racing have those anywhere?
Yeah, it's at the back of the catalog. It's rock racing or rock bouncing.
I'll have to get a part number for you when I get in here.
It's right next to the on-off gas pedal switch.
That's right.
On-off. On-off. So that's good. So both you and Woody, talk strategies and stuff like that, on each track,
Yes.
and help each other out. Obviously, your teammates. And,
I try to give her the best lines that I know, and it's up to her if she wants to take them or not.
Yeah.
Are you
And
on
likewise
comms?
in the rocks. No, we're not on comms together. Woody's even the first person that I jumped in a car with out here at Prairie City.
Okay.
I've never seen I'd never ridden or driven on a short course, and I jumped in the car with Woody. And I think maybe my eyes were only open half the time because I was like, this kid's going to kill me. I'm not even going to get to race the race car because I'm going to die before I get to crawl in the driver's seat. And
Right.
I'm a bit of a wild driver.
it was, but he just showed me, and he was really good about talking me through the corners and how to pedal out of them and how to set yourself up for them. And because it's different. You're not using the steering wheel, really. You're using your brakes and your throttle to get around
to
the corners.
position the car. Yeah.
Exactly. And so, definitely a huge shout out to him. He is the one who taught me how to short course race originally.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Super glad I got to give her some input on how to race track and how to feather the throttle around the corners. And I know my car does have a spool in it versus hers is an open diff.
So that makes a big difference.
Yes.
That those both drive different.
It's difficult to turn my car, but once I get it to turn, it's amazing.
Okay.
And I feel like yours almost pulls harder out of the corners.
Yeah, it
too,
does
where
also
mine-
pull harder.
Hooking up.
The horsepower helps also.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it works amazing for the rocks this race.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it does. The spool, yeah. I mean, a couple of times after I blew the 2 tires, I had to go through the rocks again, and I had to flip on the locker because I was like all crossed up sideways, and I was like, oh my gosh.
I don't want to get stuck through those rocks.
No,
as long as you
no.
keep your momentum, you are
You're
pretty
going-
much fine.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
if you don't keep that momentum and you get stopped a little bit, you might get bellied.
Yeah.
So that is one downfall to these rocks out here.
So you guys both raced NorCal a month ago or so, and then this race, and I know they changed up the rock sections.
Yes,
they made they made 2 new rock sections essentially. And I know watching, I mean, they had some big boulders in that NorCal
Yes,
race that
there
totally
was big
dipped out
boulders.
some.
And I did figure out the line finally through that race.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, okay, sweet. And I didn't know that they were changing that rock section. I knew about the new rock section that
Right.
they were adding, and I was like, okay, this might be fine. And walking it, I was like, oh my, this is going to be terrible. And then once I finally drove it, I was like, okay, sweet. As long as you don't take the left line in the first rock
Right.
section. Because I've had some ifs with that during practice.
Okay, and then so these seemed very better than the NorCal race. I'd say like it's not. I haven't seen a ton of carnage from these rock piles here, where NorCal
Yes.
was just there was dips
Yeah,
and everything else
NorCal, it was
going.
really fast through the
Yeah,
rocks.
yeah.
Once you figured it out, it was like, okay, this isn't so bad.
That's where I did all my passing. I actually, we had a little bit of tough luck. I snapped a throttle pedal in half
Yes.
before the main
How do you
at
do
NorCal.
Mashing it, sending it.
So we fixed that, and then I go into the main dead last, absolutely dead last. And I did all my passing in the rocks, but I think me and Cody Knoll, I actually have to give
Yeah.
a big shout out to my co-driver for getting in the seat with me, first of all. Big risk sometimes. And the poor guy gets beat up sometimes through the rocks. But we passed 5 cars in the first lap at the NorCal race at the main. It was intense. And there's actually a couple videos going around of me. There's like 2 cars, kind of taking it easy through the rocks. And they check up, before they hit them. And I didn't even tap. I didn't even brake tap. And I just launched them. And Cody, I mean, you could see in cab, Cody's like all the way over on my side, back in his side. And I'm just like maintaining, just like angry face driving.
Gotta do it.
Yeah.
The race face.
Yeah.
Don't drive angry. Don't drive angry.
So what about this? One thing I noticed watching yesterday during practice and then qualifying, that whoop section, what are they calling that? The rhythm section? What's the sponsor he's got over there? Miles has been saying it. I don't know, but those whoops coming out of that hairpin turn, there's definitely a really good line and a really bad line there that bucks
Yes.
cars at the
I
end.
figured that out during practice. The right line is a little more difficult, and then the left line is super smooth as long as you hug the grass.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
does do a little weird
You gotta-
stuff, but
yeah,
you just got to
the
maintain the
last
throttle,
whoop.
hold it steady.
Yeah.
The
I
last
think
whoop out
it's-
there.
Every one of them is spaced, and then the very last whoops moved about a foot in, so it just throws off the rhythm.
It does. So did you see Travis from Rough Stuff yesterday just wadded up, unfortunately, his car?
I did see that, and
Holy smokes.
I
The
caught
wheel
the very
and
end of it.
axle and everything. Yeah, just
Carnage
flew
on
up
high.
and-
I mean, the whole
Yeah.
front of the car just is like got hit by a
Smashed.
dozer.
Augered
Yeah.
in, huh?
No, I was after seeing that, I was a little skeptical of
Yeah.
going through those whoops, but I started warming up to them, and
Yeah.
I was hitting them around 80 miles an hour
Okay.
after.
Wow.
That's
So,
He
yeah,
was
crazy.
flying.
Yeah, I
That's
was
crazy
third
coming out of that
gear,
corner.
3/4 throttle, and then once I got out of the shift to fourth, go off the jumps.
Yeah, and those jumps are great. I mean,
Yes,
They're
they
amazing.
are.
there's
My
some
car
serious
flies
air.
amazing.
There's some serious hang time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for a minute, it's like okay,
Yeah,
and then you land.
Weightless.
well,
Yeah.
as a spectator, it looks super smooth, but I got to imagine
It
it's
is-
not
it is
crazy
smooth in
smooth
the
in the
car.
car. It is pretty
Yes.
smooth in the car.
I was
do land pretty
impressed.
soft.
Yeah?
Yeah, no. At the first time I ever jumped that car, I just, my bouncer is a lot looser suspension because the big rocks we do. And I just remember my whole body just tensing all the way up. And I remember I landed and I was like, oh, okay. It hurt worse because I was so tensed up. Yeah. And I
Right.
was like, okay, you need to chill out a little bit. And
Okay.
Just
it was
relax, let
great.
the car beat you.
Yeah.
yeah, the car
Right.
doesn't, it feels amazing.
So what's top speed out here that you guys are getting up to? If you're getting 80 in that rhythm section,
I'm not 100% sure. I might be touching 100
yeah,
in the
I
back
was wondering
stretch.
if you're hitting three
There's a
digits there.
slim chance.
Oof.
But I mean, I don't have a speedometer.
You're
in my
right,
car.
right.
It's just RPMs.
But
Right.
And yeah, it's
you're,
close.
you're hauling the mail.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've finally been grabbing third gear after the whoop section too, because he has 4, I only have 3 gears.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, but I've been grabbing third, and our gearing is a little bit differently, so it
Yes.
kind of matches itself a little bit. And
Okay.
been grabbing third gear. It's kind of like in the back whoop section, that last whoop will throw you, and then you have a slight right corner, so you kind of have to gather it together after the whoops, make the corner, and then you have a jump immediately after.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like
And-
you have to keep everything straight, basically.
Yeah, always go off the jump straight, or else
Square.
it's going to be a
Square.
bad time.
Right.
Yeah,
One of our
well-
other cars, Wade Coleman, I think it was this first NorCal, or no, last year's NorCal, the last one. He went off a jump sideways and rolled.
Yeah.
But his car is all back together, and not sure where he is this time of race.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Well,
right
like
now.
Dawson did during qualifying at Hammers.
Oh, boy.
Got sideways on that jump.
Dawson
and-
Allington. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
So, your manual valve body then on the transmission for
Yes,
shifting?
correct.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
a 100% manual. Yeah.
Mhm.
So because when you referred to, hey, I'm grabbing third gear, I'm like, okay, so you must
Oh,
be-
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't just put it in drive and
Yeah.
go. No.
Yeah.
Is your rock bouncer the same way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And luckily, it's a different shifter, different gates, but it's the same pattern one too.
So
And
it's
you
already
yeah,
ingrained.
bottom's 1, which is good because
Yeah.
my dad's rig is the opposite, where it's top is 1 and then 2.
So
and 3.
reverses over first for quick recovery. So
Yes.
you're like me. I learned all my rigs have been automatics, and I've always had it the standard shift pattern where one's all the way down, and
Yes.
then you got to slam it up into reverse if you're trying to.
I
save
have
yourself
done that
from a-
before, and I
Yeah.
have saved myself. So, but all my gates are cut in that too.
I was going to say that you got
Yes.
it set up for that, so you just
Which
slam it up.
also can bite you if you have your hand on the shifter or something and you hit reverse,
Yes.
or that's bad news bears.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I just put a Moab off-road shifter in the buggy.
Oh,
And
yes.
same thing. So it's got a lockout pin.
That's
So
good.
when you're at Sand Hollow or doing some crazy hills, and then you pull the pin, and it's game on Donkey Kong,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you can throw it into reverse. But you're exactly right. You got to be conscious of that because
yes, you do.
that'll end badly.
Well, you're not in competition.
No, I'm not. I'm in competition with myself
Right. In your mind.
and trying
your
not trying not to roll over.
Oh goodness.
So
We got to give a shout out.
yeah, let's get
We
some
call him-
shout outs
We
here
call
to your
him Dirty
sponsor.
Mike. Dirty
Yes.
Mike let us use his toy hauler. He
Heck.
turned the air conditioning on for us. He was a
I
cocktail
know.
waitress. He put on a coconut bra and
It's-
ran around and brought us drinks.
He was starting to set up a brass pole, but we kind of.
Yeah, we did. We stopped him at that point. But yeah, this is VIP status
It
here,
is.
man. This
Yeah.
is
It's
nice.
amazing. Me and Woody are both still in fire suits. So
Yeah.
it's a little
Yes,
spicy
little
outside.
toasty.
Well, he was like, "Do you guys want the AC on?" And I'm like, "You guys, we need the AC."
Yes, absolutely.
So that this
Big
is
shout out
quite
to him,
comfortable
for
in here.
sure.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Sweet.
Who else you got there?
We got some people.
Let's get
So,
some
yes,
people here.
Dave
The name
Schneider,
down.
first and foremost,
Sure.
for being
Yes.
here. He's, kind of number one on the radios. He bounces back and forth between me and Woody, and we have Derek. We have enough for each car, but everybody
Okay.
kind of goes around, and depending on which car they're watching at that point in time. And we have a lot of, feedback from Dave, and he helps us work on everything. So big shout out to him.
Yes, I thank him a lot. He helps me out with just about everything on my car. So yeah, I appreciate him a lot. And he did give me the opportunity to start it all.
Heck yeah.
So yeah. I'd also like to give out a shout out to Douglas Motorsports, Chris Borwick, for he actually built my motor in the car. And Dave did race that car because it was in the old 4500 car.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
It was yeah, I'm very glad he is letting me use his motor.
Yes.
Because I would have been stuck with a LS3 with just a crank, and that's about it.
Just an LS3.
Yeah, just an LS3.
just
Most rec wheelers would love to have that, but yeah, when you're a racer, you got
450 horsepower or whatever.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
part of the car. I mean, that Justin just put that new engine in, and it's a world of difference in his car. So that's
was
great.
at a 415 stroker in his car.
Yeah,
So,
it was spicy today.
yeah,
a little hot.
got a little
We'll
hot.
get into that later.
Yes.
Okay.
Literally.
I would like to give a big shout out to all my sponsors. Trent Fabrication, that's a big one. They helped me build
Absolutely.
the car. Nexon Tire,
Woohoo! Next
those things are amazing. I love them. Would not be here without them. Of
Yeah,
course.
Raceline
And,
wheels.
yeah,
is,
Raceline wheels.
Big
Love
one.
the race
They
lines.
hold up
We love,
amazing.
we love Greg over there. He's an
Yeah,
awesome guy.
Greg, yeah.
Carol too. Carol's a huge help. I know
Yes.
that
Okay.
she probably doesn't get as much recognition, but she's kind of the one on the back end that
She makes things happen, though, on the back
Exactly.
end, big time.
100%. So big shout out to her over there.
Yes.
Yukon Gear and Axle, they're always super interactive with us on social media too,
Yes,
which is
they
so
are.
cool.
Oh,
I'm
right
very
on.
glad about that.
I think I heard
We have
Bailey
lots of
Cole's
teammates.
up there now
Yeah, Bailey Cole's
doing
up
some
there.
marketing work.
Mhm.
Oh,
with
at
them.
UConn right
Yeah.
now? Oh, like he's graduated from school and working for him?
I believe
Yeah,
that.
I
Yeah,
believe
that's
so.
where he is now. So that's super
Ooh,
cool.
hot off the press.
Now-
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Now we know people.
Oh.
I'm gonna call Bailey. I'm gonna call Bailey.
Yeah. Then yes, Brannick Motorsports for building my trailing arms.
Sexy,
Yeah.
sexy
They're
trailing
amazing
arms.
Trailing
I
arms
think-
links.
Aren't those? Is there Brannick shafts too
Yes, Brannick shafts
Yeah.
as
in
well.
the cars? Yeah, in the Spider Tracks axles.
Yes, and then Laser
Bulletproof.
Nut Racing, they help me out a lot too. FK Rod Ends,
Okay, yeah, there you
they're a
go.
big support in the car. Rugged Radios would not
Yeah,
be there without
big shout out to
communications.
them.
Yes, they
I
are
just-
amazing.
I just went down to the trailer. Kalani is down
Yes.
there, and is it Franz?
Fonzie.
Fonzie.
Fonzie,
I
yes.
don't know why I can't ever say it
Uh-huh.
right. Fonzie hooked me up. He was like, just bring your helmet down here. I was stressed out. And he put my skirt on for me so I wasn't huffing everybody's dust in front of me. So
I
huge
still
shout
need
out
one
to
of those.
those guys down here.
They support the racers unbelievably.
They're
at
amazing.
It's yeah.
Yeah, no, they definitely do help us out a lot. And Mechman Alternators is a big one. Originally, the car that Madie is racing was
Yep.
built for Mechman Alternator.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So,
that
yes.
was his car.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, Matt
little
Young.
backstory there.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So no alternator problems on that car.
No,
Nope.
definitely
Never.
not.
No.
Warren Industries too is what's really cool about Trenton Fabrication and me being able to come on with them and partner up with them is that a lot of our sponsors kind of transversed over. There was no conflicting ones there. Warren, I'm also partnered with. Raceline, I'm also partnered with. So it's really cool to be able to represent, these companies
Sure.
in two different disciplines, and
Yes.
which is really cool to me.
That is cool.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
I mean, it seems motorsports there, but yeah, there's definitely crossover between
Yeah,
the
exactly.
two that you race.
And
there.
Warren takes amazing care of us.
They are great.
up north as well as these guys down here.
Yeah.
So
Yes, help us out a lot.
We're gonna get Justin on the podcast from Warren.
Heck
Factor
yeah.
55. He's a character.
Oh, he is. And they joined now, too. They merged. Yeah. So that
Yeah.
was big news.
Warren bought Factor
Factor 55. Yeah. Justin, I remember at SEMA, I want to say it was 2 years ago, was wearing a complete tuxedo American flag. Just
Yep.
so American. And I was like, I love this.
It
I
is
love
awesome.
it here. Yeah.
Yes, I'd like to also thank Reed Racing and Fox Suspension. I did do shock tuning about a few weeks before this. Wayne
Okay.
at Alltech helped me out a lot
Oh,
with
Wayne,
those.
yeah.
Rebuilt my rear shocks and front ones as well. They are holding up great out here. I love them. They handle amazing off the jumps, through the rocks, through the whoops. There's a few videos of me going through the whoops and the car is just pretty much flat.
Well, that's that rhythm session
yes,
that we were
gotta
just
thank
talking
Wayne
about.
over
I
there.
mean, that's crazy. So, how much was there any tuning that you had to do out here? Or I mean,
Not tuning much. Then
Really?
we just bumped up the nitrogen in the front
Okay.
by like 25, and that's
all
about
right,
it.
and then send it.
And like, mind you, his shocks, like when I showed up to the shop, I was like, oh, you're running air shocks this race.
Yeah,
huh?"
I had air shocks on the car for a while.
They had just got back from
Okay.
Wayne. So
Mhm.
they
Yeah, I
did
got
some-
them back Tuesday, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah.
And we
wow.
spent
Oh, yeah.
a day putting the fronts in because we did shorten the shafts and everything,
Uh-huh.
and we had to do slight modifications to the car to get them
Sure.
to fit. And yeah, no, car's handling great.
It looks good
Everything's
too. That's
amazing.
another thing. From the inside, when it feels good, and then on the outside, it
Yes,
also looks
yeah.
good. Like that's a
Right.
really hard.
Feels as good as it looks.
There
Yeah.
you go.
That's-
I like that.
But yeah, no, huge shout out to Wayne at Alltech.
Okay.
Appreciate him a lot for
And then-
rebuilding those.
Mama Trent, who keeps us all fed and runs
Yes.
around and kind of makes sure everything is good to go. And my mom actually showed up down here. She drove down from Medford, so I'm
Oh,
really
great.
excited about
Oh,
her being
Medford,
here this
Oregon.
time. My dad's working, unfortunately.
Oh.
So hopefully he'll be able to make it to one of these. And then, just the people that Derek Trent
Yeah,
making
Derek.
it happen,
And,
Elvis.
Big
Elvis
shout
is-
out to Elvis.
yeah, he's a
Elvis is our
huge
prep
help.
guy, has been helping myself and Maddie with our
Yeah.
cars.
I rolled up with 2 flat tires and
He
a
knows a
broken
lot.
wheel in half, and I literally turned my back and everything's getting
Yeah, I
taken
saw
off.
him
and the
moving on
grinder's
your
just-
car, and
Yeah,
it's like-
it's
No,
like a
he's-
NASCAR pit stop.
Yeah, he was like a surgeon. Okay, I need a cutoff
He's work
wheel.
mode, has one mindset, and
Tight.
he is amazing. I'm
Yeah.
so glad that we have
Focused.
him on the team.
He's been on my radio also on and
Mm-hmm.
off, giving me some feedback too, which I am such a good receptor of feedback because I will take what I want and then, discard the rest. But just, I feel like the more people talk to you when you're on the course, it's the better it is.
Okay.
Just the feedback for me
That's
is
good.
Yeah. I like that. Where people are positioned, which lines open, that sort of thing. That way
Yeah.
you can kind of mentally prepare and come into these obstacles. Because as a racer, a lot of people don't talk about it, but you're expected to you have to look at all your temperatures, your oil pressure, the people around you, what corner's coming up next. You're paying attention about what's literally right in front of you, not what is next
Sure.
to come or something.
Right.
You have to really make sure that your mindset stays concentrated. And it is kind of a little bit of a mind game. So just to have those people that are taking some of those thoughts away from you, like, what line am I going to take next? And they're like, this line's blocked, take this one. So it kind of takes that thought process away from you, and you focus on how the car's reacting and how you can make it.
Well, and it's awesome that you have, you obviously trust them, and you got somebody there in your ear that it's like, okay, you're not second guessing.
100%.
You
You
got-
lose time when you have to do that.
Right. So, I mean, you guys got an incredible support team here. I mean,
100%.
Yes.
teamwork
There's
makes
that.
the dream work, but
Yeah.
you guys are
Oh,
the
yeah.
epitome of that. It's super
Absolutely.
cool to see and hear.
Well, and when you think about, all the, like, all of our times, I want to say I was 8 seconds off of first place and I qualified 10th. So if that tells you 8 seconds, where you can make
Sure.
up 8 seconds so easily. I
Sure.
mean, I kind of blew it coming out of one of the corners and got a little squirrely. And I honestly thought we were going over for the first time because I haven't rolled that car. So
No.
I was like, oh,
shit.
and we
I
saved
definitely
it.
might
I know,
have
yeah.
wanted to do that.
That's real.
We'll do that.
But yeah,
Yeah.
no, huge shout out to our team. We definitely wouldn't be here without them. We're 20-year-old kids out here doing
I was
this,
going to
so-
ask your age. I mean,
Yeah.
because you guys are definitely younger.
Well, Woody's much younger than I am. I am
Very
27. I'm a
Okay.
mom. I have an 8-year-old son.
Okay.
But Woody's a little baby. He could be
Fresh
my son.
21 years old.
oh, you're just 21.
Yeah.
I thought you were
Yeah.
24.
I'm
for
starting
some
to-
reason. 21.
We've
Yeah, I'm
interviewed
fresh.
some
I
of the
started
youngest.
racing 20 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's great.
Yeah.
But it's getting younger and younger. And
Which is a good thing,
Yeah, it
this
is.
sport, it's not going to continue if you don't get the future generation
Absolutely.
into it. That's like the kids and stuff. I always make sure to take the time, talk to the kids, ask them if they want to sit in the car, take pictures together.
Yeah.
You need to get them into it now, or the sport won't be, 20 years to come. So
Very, very well said.
Exactly.
And you being a female too, you can bond with a whole everybody, right?
Well, and I'm a mom, too,
and you're a mom,
so,
so you
yeah,
got that
it's-
mother nurturing.
I love all the babies.
Billy,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
First
Yeah.
time
All the
Maddie and
babies.
myself met, we got along great. From
Yeah.
the start.
Oh, yeah,
I was
100%.
stoked with that. It was kind of just like, okay, how you doing?
Well, yeah, I didn't know any of them
best
when I
friends.
walked in the shop. I knew
Really?
Dave. Yeah, no, and I walked right past Dave. He was sitting in the office, and I was like, "Where's Dave?" And they're like, "You just walked right past him." And I was like, "Oh, okay." That's exactly how that whole thing went. So, yeah, we all kind of got thrown together, and we all mesh well. I feel like I'm a little spicy sometimes coming out of the car, which you guys
Yes.
got experience.
Hey, that was I've seen spicy. Trust
we
me.
saw you, and I'm like,
This is not a good time. It's not a good time.
Oh yeah.
I get it. I
Yeah.
mean, it's tough. I mean,
Absolutely.
I
well, you
have
kind of got to
mad.
just cool down. Your adrenaline
Yeah.
is still just pumping
Yeah.
through your body.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. No,
yeah.
mad respect for you guys out there doing
my
this.
And you guys
boys
as
were
well.
not stoked after the last race.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I'm twice your age, just so you know.
And yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are. He rubs it in a little.
A week from today, I turn 50.
Okay.
Hit the
Okay.
big 50.
Oh yeah.
Don't look a day over 30, right,
No,
Maddie? Yeah,
I was
see?
gonna
No,
guess 29,
yeah,
really.
yeah. See?
but- and thank you guys, really, because you guys
No.
put a lot of time, effort, finances. This stuff isn't free and it's not
No.
cheap. So
Nothing like
guys.
what you're doing, though.
But it's passion,
Yeah.
right? It's all passion.
Yeah.
Like all the people you described here that are helping work for you and
You guys
busting
are
their
part of
ass.
that, really.
It's the passion for the sport,
Yes.
and that's
Absolutely. And getting getting the
whatever
stories out.
level you're at, as far as participating, it's just fun to be part of.
I feel like, a lot of people though wouldn't know about us if it wasn't for media and you guys that do this. Like, why would we even be out here if nobody thinks we're cool or what I mean?
right. Yeah.
We all have our roles.
Yeah, exactly.
Stories to tell, and when the tide rises, all the boats come up, and we just want to see everybody do well, have a good time.
100%.
This is
Yep.
this
And be
sport.
safe.
We've said it
And be
100
safe.
times on this podcast. Is like any other race motorsport out there. The camaraderie and everything. It's just and that's why I wanted to get the young up-and-comers here on the podcast. So
Heck yeah.
Well, we thank you very much. Thanks for having us, and I'm glad we got in contact before.
Well, I know you got to get back out because, unfortunately, you got to do a little LCQ.
Yeah, that's all right. We're gonna throw.
Yeah,
we're gonna throw down
it gives you
some
more
laps
seat
and
time.
100%.
More seat time. More
Be
fun.
ready for the main because I'm coming
Is there
for
anybody
Woody.
else sponsors you want to hit up, or you cover everybody?
I covered
think we got
everyone.
everybody.
Awesome.
So, yeah, super stoked on that.
You got very well prepared, by the
Yes.
way.
Big shout out to my sister as well, Jalen Rose. She
Okay.
was the first person to hop in a car with me.
Really?
My first ever race. She was my co-driver.
Older sister, younger
Older
sister.
sister. She's 23 years old.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you guys got along as kids, or were you just at each other's throats?
50-50.
They
Okay.
still are at each
Yeah,
other's
Okay.
throats,
Yeah.
so-
Well, I mean, there's always that
She
sibling
whips him in
rivalry.
shape.
Yeah, there's that. But I'm very thankful for her to be here.
Cool.
She helps me out a lot.
That is great.
Right
That is
on.
awesome.
Well,
So,
best
yeah.
of luck for the rest of the weekend
Thank
for
you,
both of
guys.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
Looking
you
forward
so
to the
much.
Thank
mains
you.
this afternoon.
Hell
and,
yeah.
Make it happen.
Absolutely.
Like to see you up there on the podium.
Us
All
as
right.
well.
Let's hope. One more race for me at least.
Well,
Yeah.
I got two.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's okay.
More seat time.
All right.
Mhm.
Hey, seat time over everything.
practice.
It's all good.
Practice
Tear it up
makes
out there and we
perfect.
all
Practice.
go home safe at the
Perfect
end of the
practice.
day, right?
Absolutely.
Practice makes
There's
perfect.
that.
Maybe crack a beer too when we're
Hell
done.
yeah.
Hey, heck yeah.
That
Now
is
that you're
the
21.
Oh yeah, see?
Yeah.
Oh, see?
Way better.
Because you didn't start drinking before 21,
No.
right?
No, I would
None of
never
us
do
You
did.
would
that.
None of us
never.
did.
No.
No.
All right, Jason. Well, how do they get a hold of us?
Well, they can hit us up on the IG at wheelingwineandwhiskey.com. Of course, or not .com. That's our website, but obviously Wheeling Wine and Whiskey on the IG.
That's right.
Of course, you can hit us up on email, Jason or Chris or Lorenzo at
Lorenzo got an
wheelingwineandwhiskey.com.
email recently.
Yes. And did you see him this morning?
No.
He was in the mud pit down there.
What a-
So
what
pissed
a-
at him.
what an ass.
He's not sleeping in the camper tonight. He's sleeping in your camper.
No, he's not.
Hey, what's your IG? Speaking of IGs, we got to get your social medias
Yeah.
out there, guys.
That's right.
Absolutely. So mine is at Madie Moon, and it's MADI, and then Moon has 3 O's in it because I like to be difficult.
Moon.
Yeah,
Madie
exactly.
Moon. So MADIMOOON.
Correct. Yep, on
That's
IG.
the IG. Yep, Madie Moon. And then Woody.
Mine is super simple at Woody Rose Woody underscore Rose underscore 4871.
Your card number. Yeah, so Woody underscore Rose underscore 4871. So
Yes,
yeah,
that is
if
correct.
you're not following them,
You
be
should.
sure to follow them because
Yep, that's correct.
there's some. Yeah.
Post the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's-
yeah.
We do it.
That's it. Well, hey, thanks again for your time. Go out and then race and kick some ass.
Yeah.
Sounds
Thank you
good.
guys very
Will
much
do.
for having
All
us.
right, Chris.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
We're out.